Welcome everybody. It is Crypto Moose and it's time to get loose. Mitchell Bouchard, your crypto and NFT investor. Let's dive into the episode. So we're talking about a $100,000 Bitcoin. We're going to get into some of the factors, the reasons why I believe we could push past 100,000 in this next bull run. So if you haven't seen it already, we also did a $10 Cardano video. I go through a bunch of reasons why I believe we can get there. So before we get started, I want to remind you all to smash a like button. Also subscribe if you want to view more content. You guys can also check out the link tree. So we have tons of links in there for you to enjoy. We have online courses, NFTs, and so on. All right, so let's dive right into it. So we're on coinmarketcap.com right now. Today, we are February 1st of 2024. Bitcoin is at 42,100 USD. We've been seeing a little fluctuation as of late. So let's get into the macro perspective. Let's zoom out quite a bit and let's look at the all-time of Bitcoin. So it wasn't that long ago, 2016, right? Not only do we have Trump as president, not only have we seen changes, even recently we got Biden, we got, wars around the world, etc. I'm a Canadian, so it's not even really something that we get into in this channel. But what we're looking for is a massive upside, right? We're looking for that huge upside, right? So it's going to be huge. It's got to be a massive run. So that's what we want, right? We do want that. We do want to see a huge run. So what's going to allow that to happen? Well, it's going to be the Bitcoin halving. The Bitcoin halving is what's going to drive the price forward. And that is when the amount of Bitcoin that get distributed to the Bitcoin miners gets reduced. And it's reduced in half. So if we go to the halving, we could take a look here. Go to see more. So in 75 days, that's when the next Bitcoin halving is. And for example, April 2024, the block rewards will be reduced from 6.25 Bitcoin per block to 3.125. And if you look at the numbers, there's only 1 million Bitcoin left or less. So the circulating supply, how much Bitcoin is already out there and mined, it's 93.4%. We're almost at 94%, minus what Satoshi has, minus the fact that Michael Saylor has a ton, and minus the fact that Crypto Moose has $500 million worth because Elon Musk is calling him every day asking for financial advice. I'm like, dude, just watch the channel. But anyways, he's got the money, he's paying, and it's keeping the channel going. So what we're getting at here is that the Bitcoin halving is going to be the main reason that the price is going to go up, in my opinion, because Bitcoin is extremely scarce, right? So you have a blockchain called Bitcoin, okay? You can imagine it's like a see-through box, okay? It's like a globe, okay? We're not getting into flat earth theory. It's not a flat blockchain, it's a round blockchain. So you got the Bitcoin blockchain. You got public keys on there, okay, that you can see. So you can look through, you can see what's going on. You don't know who owns all those wallets per se. You have to dig into it. But the supply of Bitcoin's tokens are in that blockchain. And what I'm getting at is that there's only 1 million Bitcoin left when you think about it, right? It's not a lot. And if the amount of rewards that are getting distributed to miners gets cut in half, there's not going to be as much inflow of Bitcoin going forward. It's going to become so scarce. You're going to see the scarcity of Bitcoin just exponentially get there. So even looking at this chart, right? You got it here, Bitcoin's going up, pump, down. And then every time, man, at that 4-year cycle, it's crazy. That's just what happens with Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that rainbow chart, but it's somewhat accurate of what's happening. It's a pretty cool predictor. So yeah, there's a lot of factors, a lot of things to consider with Bitcoin, but educate yourself. Nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. FTX, Luna, etc. Let's talk about the aftermath. So one of the other reasons I believe we're going to see at least $100,000 Bitcoin is the fact that in this next bull run, in my opinion, I don't think we're going to see things happen like BitConnect. Or what was the other one? I don't know. There's so many scams and whatnot. So the scams on the scale of like a centralized exchange where you have FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, and you have things like Terra Luna collapsing. I don't think we're going to see things like that, and that's going to play a big role into the next bull run because now there's more trust. So when people get into crypto, there's more faith today than there was years ago. At least in my eyes, that's what I see. So you guys can comment down below. Do you agree that today people trust Bitcoin more? Because I think they do. And the other reason is because of the spot ETFs. So I do have it on the chart here. If we take a look at the iShares, IBIT. So an ETF is an exchange traded fund. It's basically, you can think about it this way. So you've got BlackRock, a big institution. They have tons of money, right? So BlackRock, they have a lot of money. Let's say they have, I know they have a lot of money, but let's say they got $10 billion. They want to put it into Bitcoin. Well, they have a fiduciary responsibility. They have regulations. And what they can do is they can issue stocks, so they can buy assets like real estate or buy companies, and they can sell stocks that represent those assets. So in the case of an ETF, an exchange traded fund, that is a tool now where BlackRock, because they own so much, they can now pick up Bitcoin and then they can issue more ETF stock, right? So that's the way you want to think about it. It's basically a mechanism in which, large institutions can do that. So if we go to overview and let's go here. This is a big deal because it allows for a lot of people to get into Bitcoin. So I guess on Google is probably the easiest way. But right now you can buy, 20 for 24 or 30, you can buy like an ETF. So this has been doing quite well, at least from what I've heard. I'm not really interested in getting this, but if you guys are interested in, maybe you have like a TFSA here in Canada, you should be able to buy it through that. What else? So market cap 114. So the main thing is, in your retirement account, right? You can now buy an ETF, right? If you're a large corporation, right? You have all these regulations. You can now just buy the ETF. You don't have to deal with owning Bitcoin and how those rules apply. So this is going to be a big deal, right? So they own 9.42 trillion in assets. So basically there's like 3 or 4 companies that own like 86% of the S&P. So that will be a conversation for another time. But point being, I think it's a good catalyst for the price to go up. Billions of inflow, simple access. So it's creating mass adoption, right? It's creating a way for everyone to participate in the market, which you can already do with Bitcoin anyways. But this is just a different element. Security, uptime, surviving and thriving trust. So with that being said, every year, every time we get to the next halving, every time we get into 2024, 2028, 2030, what we're seeing is more trust. As long as Bitcoin doesn't get hacked, as long as we're seeing more adoption, we're seeing all these decentralized applications being built. The other one is we're seeing multi-chain and interoperability. And what that means is that we're seeing, so Bitcoin is a blockchain, right? You have Cardano as a blockchain. You have ETH as a blockchain. You have Solana. Now these blockchains are speaking to one another. They're becoming more interoperable. And there's a huge investment play there. We'll talk about that later in a different video. But when you think about that, that helps Bitcoin. As Solana grows, as Ethereum grows, as you can add more video games and own in-game assets, you will be able to swap Bitcoin for Cardano, Cardano to Solana. And it's an entire ecosystem that is going to grow. The other part I was thinking about is the technological side. So you have this Apple VR headset. I've seen the videos. I have not used it. As this becomes more affordable, as people begin to use that more, and I was thinking about this. I have a cell phone. I message people, right? And sometimes they'll hit me up and I'll be talking to somebody about crypto or whatever. And, I just get to thinking that I think that VR is the next step, because think about it this way. If you told somebody 5 years ago that, maybe not 5 years ago, let's go back 10 years or even 15 years. If you told somebody everybody's going to have a device where we're all kind of interconnected and we can call each other and have a 24-hour device in our pocket and send texts all day, be connected to the internet, like nobody would really believe you. Not everyone would see or share that vision. And the point that I'm making is that with VR, with the next set of us being more integrated with technology, I mean, think about the first Neuralink. I believe that was installed 2 days ago. We are definitely the cocoon to AI. That's kind of what I believe. But more importantly, if you look at it, we are wearing technology, and crypto, Bitcoin, all these things. It's going to become more integrated with the technology that we use day to day. So we're not getting further away from tech. You guys think about Web 1, that's just the read only. You got Web 2, that's kind of what we have now. It's where we can read and write. Web 3, cryptocurrencies, metaverse, that's where you can own your assets. That's where you have the tokenization. That's where you have blockchain, right? Thriving. And you have the interoperability, and we're just going to be more connected to that. And I think that's going to play a role sooner than later. I think it's going to shock people just how much we're going to be integrated with technology. And think about it this way. You text somebody and you're like, hey, how are you doing? And they message you, hey, how are you doing? Maybe it's somebody you don't even know, right? It's an online dating app, whatever it is. And it's like, that's normal. But why isn't wearing a headset and like being in the metaverse with somebody, how is that less normal? Because it is weird to think about. Most people I connect with, my friends, I don't even see them anymore. I literally don't see them anymore, right? And they're like, oh, we won't have VR. It's like, dude, we literally message on a phone. We're like this. And we're not even moving our lips. Like, we're already doing that. People aren't aware of it. So that's my point there. And the fact is, I believe cryptocurrencies, as they evolve, as they get better, it's going to be so interactive. It's going to play a big role in that. So the other one, we're going to see more DEXs implement and integrate and have interoperability with Bitcoin. That's basically it. That's all I really wanted to get into. And ultimately, if we look at the price of Bitcoin, I think, yeah, maybe we could go a bit lower short term, like short term. But all in all, once we go over 50,000, I think we're just going to go. I think we're going to go. And this will be, in my opinion, the biggest bull run we have ever seen. I think there's so many things at play here. There's more trust than ever before. There's more security. There's more nodes. There's more blockchains. There's more interoperability. You've got so much happening now where people are beginning to see it. So that's a lot of you watching this as well. So I know I went a little bit crazy on this video, but that's all I want to get into. I think 100,000 is a joke. It's that easy. Okay. So the other thing I want to remind you all, check out the link tree, please. If you check out the link tree, go to ADA Plates. This is a project that is minting right now. So if you go to minting, we've got quite a few left. But if you want to get something to collect, trade, and display, pick up an ADA Plate. It's a project. It's a collaboration between myself and Kevin Gardine with Alien Peace Force. So if you mint this ADA plate, the gold one, you get a really nice airdrop. So I'll pull up the wallet. I have done it in other videos, but you get like a Mel Diamond Hands NFT, you get a Loose Moose, you get more plates, you get some ADA, you get a bunch of stuff. So if you guys pull that, that'd be fantastic, especially one of the subscribers. So the other thing is, guys, save up to 25% off a hardware wallet. If you're going to get into crypto, you have to use protection, right? Maybe you're new to crypto and you don't know what kind of wallet to get. Well, I'll tell you right now. If you have the money, pick up the Trezor Model T. If you want to save, if you want to get the best bang for buck, Trezor Safe 3 is a great option. And if you want something that's even cheaper, the LA is good. And there's also the Tangem. If you want an everyday carry, I like the Tangem. I have one in my wallet. We also have the free Cardano mini course. This thing's awesome. People have been loving it. So get that. It's a free course. I just take your email. Comes with the course workbook. I created everything myself. And then we also have Udemy courses. So these have been doing really well. This is the best I've ever done with it. So that's all we have for you in this video. I hope you enjoy it. Comment down below. What is the most important thing in the space right now that will bring Bitcoin to over 100,000? Or maybe you don't think it will. Tell me why. Peace.